15. Beloved Coming to America. Actors who tragically passed away. What if we told you that behind the laughter and royal elegance of Coming to America lies a series of heartbreaking real-life tragedies? While the film gave us timeless joy, many of its beloved stars faced silent battles, shocking scandals, and untimely deaths. In this video, we reveal the hidden stories and painful endings of 15 legendary actors who made the film unforgettable. Some passed away quietly, others under deeply tragic circumstances. Watch until the end. You won't believe what happened behind the scenes. Like, comment, and subscribe to Legends of Black Excellence to honor their lives and lasting impact. James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones, born on January 17, 1931 in Arcaboutla, Mississippi, was more than an actor. He was a legend whose voice alone shaped generations of cinematic storytelling. In Coming to America 1988, he portrayed King Jaffe Joffer, the powerful yet dignified ruler of Zamunda. His portrayal blended warmth and authority, setting the emotional foundation for a story about love, freedom, and identity. Before becoming one of Hollywood's most recognizable voices, Jones endured a deeply traumatic childhood. Separated from his parents at a young age, he was raised by his maternal grandparents in rural Michigan. His experiences with racial prejudice and a crippling stutter caused him to stop speaking entirely for nearly 8 years. Ironically, it was through poetry and recitation that he rediscovered his voice, a voice that would later echo through the most iconic films in history. Jones built a remarkable 6-decade career, earning respect on both stage and screen. John Amos. John Amos, born December 27, 1939 in Newark, New Jersey, became a cultural cornerstone through roles that embodied strength, dignity, and everyday resilience. In Coming to America, he portrayed Cleo McDowell, the no-nonsense entrepreneurial owner of McDowell's and the protective father of Lisa. Amos brought a relatable charm to the character, offering both comic relief and emotional depth, symbolizing the American dream with a dash of fatherly pride. Before he found fame on screen, Amos had an eclectic career path. He played professional football briefly before pursuing acting. His big break came in the 1970s as James Evans Sr. on the groundbreaking sitcom Good Times, where he portrayed one of television's first strong black father figures. His insistence on portraying black families with honesty and integrity reportedly led to tension with producers, ultimately resulting in his exit from the show. At the time of his passing, his net worth was estimated around $3 million. More than just an actor, Amos was a storyteller who championed truth-challenged stereotypes and left a legacy of powerful, unforgettable performances. Madge Sinclair. Born on April 28, 1938 in Kingston, Jamaica, Madge Sinclair carved out a royal legacy long before she was crowned Queen Aeolian in Coming to America, 1988. Her portrayal of Zamunda's dignified queen was more than just a role. It was the culmination of a lifetime spent fighting for visibility, respect, and artistry as a black woman in Hollywood. After moving to the United States in the 1960s, Sinclair faced limited opportunities, but remained undeterred. She took on small roles while raising 2 sons as a single mother following a painful divorce. Her breakthrough came in 1977 with her Emmy-nominated performance as Belle Reynolds in Roots, where she delivered a heartbreaking portrayal of strength in the face of generational trauma. She continued to shine on TV in Trapper John M.D. and later in Gabriel's Fire, which earned her an Emmy Award in 1991. Though her on-screen characters radiated poise and power, Sinclair battled leukemia privately for more than a decade. Despite her diagnosis in 1982, she never stopped working. She even voiced Sarabi Simba's mother in Disney's The Lion King 1994, just 1 year before her passing. Madge Sinclair died on December 20, 1995 at the age of 57 after a 13-year struggle with blood cancer. Her remains were cremated and her ashes scattered in her beloved homeland of Jamaica. In 2000, the Jamaican government posthumously honored her with the Order of Distinction Commander class for her contributions to the arts. Her estimated net worth at the time of death ranged between $1 million and $2 million. Though gone too soon, Madge Sinclair left behind a legacy of excellence, courage, and elegance that continues to inspire women of color in film today. She redefined what it meant to be a queen, both on screen and in real life. Calvin Lockhart. Calvin Lockhart, born Bert McCloskey Cooper on October 18, 1934 in Nassau, Bahamas, brought aristocratic swagger and raw intensity to the role of Colonel Izzy in Coming to America. As the ambitious father determined to marry his daughter into royalty, Lockhart turned a supporting role into a scene-stealing performance. But his journey to Hollywood royalty was anything but easy. At 18, Lockhart left the Bahamas for New York with no money, no connections, and a heart full of ambition. To survive, he worked as a taxi driver and even opened a carpentry shop while auditioning for acting roles. Frustrated by Hollywood's limited and often stereotypical opportunities for black actors, he relocated to Europe in the 1960s, where he found success in British and Italian cinema. His roles in Cotton Comes to Harlem, 1970, and Let's Do It Again, 1975, made him a leading man in the blaxploitation era, magnetic, stylish, and complex. Despite his rising fame, Lockhart faced his share of personal challenges. He was married 3 times and had 2 sons. In 2006, just 1 year before his death, he married his 3rd wife, Jennifer Miles, in an emotional ceremony where his son walked her down the aisle, a symbolic moment of reconciliation and love. Lockhart returned to his homeland in later years and even filmed his final movie, Rain in the Bahamas. On March 29, 2007, he died at age 72 from complications following a stroke. His death shocked fans, many of whom had not known he was ill. His net worth at the time was estimated around $1 million, a modest figure considering the international legacy he built. Calvin Lockhart's career defied borders and broke barriers. He didn't just play royalty, he lived like one on his own terms. His legacy remains a testament to perseverance, talent, and trailblazing spirit. Louis Anderson. Born on March 24, 1953 in St. Paul, Minnesota, Louis Anderson brought warmth and sincerity to his role as Maurice in Coming to America, 1988, a fast food employee with big dreams and a kind heart. Though his screen time was brief, Louis made the character unforgettable, delivering humor laced with genuine humanity. Off-screen, his life was shaped by tragedy and perseverance. Anderson was the 10th of 11 surviving children in a family of 16. 5 siblings died at birth. He grew up in a troubled home with an abusive alcoholic father, an experience that haunted his personal life but fueled his creative voice. Comedy became an outlet, a way to process trauma and connect with others. His stand-up career blossomed in the 1980s, landing him spots on The Tonight Show and HBO specials. Anderson went on to host Family Feud, 1999 to 2002, and won hearts with his autobiographical animated series Life with Louis, which earned 2 Daytime Emmys. In 2016, he took on a career-defining role as Christine Baskets, a role based on his own mother in the FX series Baskets. His performance earned him a Primetime Emmy and critical acclaim for portraying a vulnerable, loving matriarch with grace. Privately, Anderson battled internal demons. In the 1990s, he faced a blackmail scandal involving threats to expose details about his sexuality. He paid hush money before alerting the FBI, leading to an arrest, but the experience left lasting emotional scars. He kept much of his personal life out of the spotlight. In the early 2000s, Louis was diagnosed with blood cancer, a struggle he kept mostly private. On January 21, 2022, he passed away at a hospital in Las Vegas at age 68, just days after his condition was publicly revealed. His net worth at the time of death was estimated at $10 million, much of it earned from his long-running Las Vegas comedy residency. Louis Anderson's humor was healing, his performances heartfelt. Behind every joke was a story of survival, making his legacy as enduring as it is tender. Don Ameche. Don Ameche born Dominic Felix. Ameche on May 31, 1908, in Kenosha, Wisconsin, was once a household name in Golden Age Hollywood, only to vanish from the spotlight for decades before making a triumphant comeback. His surprise cameo as Mortimer Duke in Coming to America 1988, reprising his role from Trading Places, was brief but iconic. It was more than a joke. It was a nod to his remarkable second act. Ameche rose to fame in the 1930s and 40s as a suave leading man starring in box office hits like The Story of Alexander Graham Bell 1939, which led to the telephone being jokingly called the Ameche for years. He had a sophisticated charm that made him a natural fit for romantic comedies, musicals, and biopics during Hollywood's studio era. But as the industry changed, Ameche's career faded. By the 1960s, he was largely forgotten, working in regional theater and taking small television roles to make ends meet. Many assumed his best years were behind him until director John Landis cast him in Trading Places 1983 opposite Ralph Bellamy. His performance as a ruthless billionaire was so impressive that it led to an Oscar win for Best Supporting Actor in Cocoon 1985, reviving his career at the age of 77. Though professionally reinvigorated, Ameche's personal life remained private and complicated. He was married to Honore Prendergast from 1932 until her death in 1986, but they had long lived apart. He had 6 children, and in his final years he resided with them, keeping a low profile. Don Ameche passed away on December 6, 1993 from prostate cancer at the age of 85. He died at his son's home in Scottsdale, Arizona. His net worth at the time of death was estimated at $10 million, earned over a career that spanned more than 5 decades. Don Ameche's story is one of perseverance, elegance, and the rare ability to return to greatness after being written off. His legacy bridges Hollywood's golden age and the modern era with timeless class. Ralph Bellamy. Ralph Bellamy, born on June 17, 1904 in Chicago, Illinois, built a career that spanned more than 6 decades, defined by subtle charm and quiet consistency. In Coming to America 1988, he reprised his role as Randolph Duke alongside Don Ameche in a surprise cameo that delighted fans of Trading Places. Though brief, the moment served as a loving nod to old Hollywood's enduring influence. Bellamy began acting as a teenager after running away from home to join a traveling theater troupe. By the 1930s, he became a familiar face in Hollywood, often cast as the other man, the well-mannered suitor who inevitably lost the girl to the leading man. His role in The Awful Truth, 1937, earned him an Academy Award nomination, cementing his reputation as the perfect foil in romantic comedies. In the 1950s, when movie roles dwindled, Bellamy reinvented himself on Broadway. His performance as Franklin D. Roosevelt in Sunrise at Campobello earned him a Tony Award in 1957 and established him as a serious, dramatic actor. He later reprised the role in the 1960 film adaptation, receiving critical acclaim. Off-screen, Bellamy's personal life had its share of turbulence. He was married 4 times, finally finding lasting happiness with his 4th wife, Alice Murphy. Known for his integrity and humility, Bellamy also served as president of the Screen Actors Guild and helped shape labor rights for actors. He died on November 29, 1991 in Santa Monica, California from a chronic lung disease. He was 87 years old. At the time of his passing, his net worth was estimated at around $5 million, reflecting a long, steady career rather than flash-in-the-pan fame. Ralph Bellamy's legacy is one of grace, dependability, and quiet brilliance. He may have often played the man who lost the girl, but in life and legacy, he stood tall as one of Hollywood's most respected gentlemen. Ellen Holly. Ellen Holly, born on January 16, 1931 in New York City, made history as the first black actress to star in a daytime television drama. Though her role in Coming to America 1988 was small, a quick appearance as a New York City citizen, her real-life impact on American television was monumental and often overlooked. A gifted writer and performer, Holly gained public attention in 1968 with a powerful letter to the New York Times in which she candidly discussed the struggles of being a black actress in a racially biased industry. That letter led to her casting as Carla Gray on One Life to Live, where her character's romantic storyline with a white doctor ignited national controversy. When audiences later learned that Carla was black, it exposed the deep-seated prejudices of the time and established Holly as a bold pioneer, unafraid to challenge norms. Despite her cultural significance, Holly's career was marred by industry politics and discrimination. In 1985, she was abruptly written off the show that made her famous, an act she later described as a betrayal that left lasting emotional scars. She never married, had no children, and rarely appeared on screen after that, choosing instead to work as a librarian and writer in New York. Her 1996 memoir, One Life. The autobiography of an African-American actress offered an unflinching look at the racism, tokenism, and injustice she faced throughout her career. It also highlighted her resilience and unwavering pride in her identity. On December 6, 2023, Ellen Holly died at Calvary Hospital in the Bronx at the age of 92 after a lengthy illness. She passed quietly with little fanfare, her legacy largely unsung by mainstream media. Her estimated net worth at the time of her death was around $1 million. Though history often forgets its early trailblazers, Ellen Holly's courage cracked open doors that others would later walk through. Her story is not just about what she endured, but about what she changed forever. Eddie Murphy. Born on April 3, 1961 in Brooklyn, New York, Eddie Murphy redefined the boundaries of comedy superstardom and black excellence in Hollywood. At just 27 years old, he starred as Prince Akeem Joffer in Coming to America, 1988, a romantic comedy that became an instant classic. Murphy didn't just play the lead, he played multiple characters, showcasing an extraordinary range that had rarely been seen before. By the time Coming to America hit theaters, Murphy was already a megastar thanks to Saturday Night Live, 48, Hers, and Beverly Hills Cop. Yet the film cemented his legacy as a creative powerhouse who could blend satire, social commentary, and heartfelt storytelling. Behind the glitz, however, was a life shaped by hardship. Murphy's father was murdered when he was just 8 years old, and he spent part of his youth in foster care. These early traumas helped mold his edgy humor and independent spirit. His career soared throughout the 1990s, but fame also brought turbulence. In 1997, a scandal involving a transgender sex worker damaged his public image, and his stand-up routines faced criticism for homophobic content, a controversy he later publicly addressed and apologized for. Murphy's personal life has been complex. He has 10 children with 5 different women and went through a highly publicized divorce from Nicole Mitchell. Legal disputes followed, including a paternity battle with singer Melanie Brown, later confirmed by DNA testing. Despite public setbacks, Murphy orchestrated a major comeback with his award-winning role in Dreamgirls 2006, earning a Golden Globe and an Oscar nomination. As of 2025, he remains a towering figure in entertainment with an estimated net worth of $200 million. He lives in California with his partner Paige Butcher and their 2 children. Eddie Murphy is more than a comedian. He is a survivor, an innovator, and a trailblazer who brought black royalty to the big screen and changed comedy forever. Arsenio Hall. Arsenio Hall, born on February 12, 1956 in Cleveland, Ohio, may have entered Coming to America as Semi, the mischievous yet loyal friend of Prince Akeem, but he exited it as an icon in his own right. His comic timing, infectious energy, and ability to shift between multiple roles in the film made him an unforgettable part of its magic. While Murphy lit up the box office, Hall was quietly becoming the voice of young Black America. In 1989, just a year after Coming to America, he launched The Arsenio Hall Show, a late-night talk show that broke all the rules. With a format tailored to the Black community and younger audiences, Hall welcomed everyone from hip-hop legends to political leaders. When presidential candidate Bill Clinton played the saxophone on his stage, it became a defining pop culture moment. But fame came at a cost. The show's bold approach, particularly its inclusion of LGBTQ guests and black voices speaking about HIV/AIDS, led to backlash. Rumors of being blacklisted by conservative media and industry executives swirled after the show's cancellation in 1994. Hall quietly stepped out of the spotlight, choosing to raise his only son full-time rather than chase the limelight. For years, he battled rumors about drug use and career decline. But Hall returned in 2012 with a bang, winning The Celebrity Apprentice and donating $250,000 to the Magic Johnson Foundation, highlighting his commitment to HIV awareness, a cause dear to his heart. He reprised his role as Semi in Coming to America 2021, reuniting with Murphy in a full-circle moment that delighted longtime fans. As of 2025, Arsenio Hall is 69, largely retired from television, living a quieter life, but still making selective public appearances. Though often underrated, Hall's impact on representation in late-night television remains profound. He gave voice to those previously shut out, and in doing so, helped shape a new cultural conversation. Shari Headley. Shari Headley, born July 15, 1964 in Queens, New York, made cinematic history in Coming to America 1988 as Lisa McDowell, the intelligent, compassionate woman who captured the heart of an African prince. At just 24 years old, she embodied elegance, independence, and authenticity, becoming the ultimate queen of a generation. Unlike many aspiring actresses of the time, Headley wasn't chasing red carpets or overnight stardom. Director John Landis specifically cast her because she was a fresh face with no public baggage. Her quiet strength, natural beauty, and emotional depth gave Coming to America its romantic center. After the film's success, Headley didn't catapult into blockbuster fame. Instead, she built a career marked by consistency and integrity. She appeared in daytime staples like All My Children and The Bold and the Beautiful, and starred in Tyler Perry's The Haves and the Have-Nots. Known for playing women with substance, lawyers, mothers, detectives, Headley became a familiar presence across television screens without ever losing her grace. In 1993, she married rapper Christopher Play Martin of Kid and Play fame. The marriage ended just 2 years later, and Headley took on the role of a single mother raising her son while selectively choosing projects that aligned with her values. She later revealed that she turned down numerous roles to be present for her child, a decision she never regretted. In 2021, she reprised her iconic role as Lisa, now Queen of Zamunda, in Coming to America. Her performance reminded audiences of the quiet strength and timeless elegance that made her so beloved decades earlier. As of 2025, Shari Headley is 61 and continues acting while mentoring young black actresses. With an estimated net worth of $5 million, she remains an example of resilience and self-determination. Headley's story isn't one of scandal or struggle, it's one of staying true to one's values while leaving a lasting mark in film history. Eric LaSalle. Eric LaSalle, born July 23, 1962 in Hartford, Connecticut, was just 26 when he burst into Coming to America 1988 as Daryl Jenks, the flashy, self-absorbed heir to Soul Glow, who ultimately loses the girl. While his role provided comedic relief, LaSalle's real journey was one of transformation, perseverance, and triumph behind the camera. Raised by a single mother and one of 4 siblings, LaSalle studied acting seriously, earning a degree from NYU's Tisch School of the Arts. Before landing his breakout film role, he struggled in theater and television, often feeling boxed in by stereotypical roles offered to black men in the 1980s. Daryl Jenks, though exaggerated, gave him visibility, but not necessarily the credibility he craved as a dramatic actor. That changed dramatically when LaSalle was cast as Dr. Peter Benton in ER 1994 to 2002. The role of a brilliant no-nonsense surgeon launched him into stardom and earned him 3 NAACP Image Awards. His portrayal brought complexity, pride, and intensity to primetime TV, making him one of the most respected black male leads of the era. Beyond acting, LaSalle transitioned into directing and producing, carving out a powerful career behind the scenes. He directed episodes of Law & Order, SVU, CSI, NY, and Chicago PD, among others, proving he wasn't just a face, he was a force. In 2012, he also published his debut novel, Laws of Depravity, showcasing his range as a writer. While his career has been largely free of scandal, he did experience a minor car accident in 2000 that prompted him to reflect on the fragility of fame and the need for a purposeful life. Known for his privacy, LaSalle rarely appears in the spotlight unless it's to promote meaningful work. As of 2025, Eric LaSalle is 63 with an estimated net worth of $25 million. Though audiences still remember him as the greasy hair guy from Coming to America, LaSalle has long since rewritten his narrative, one of artistic control, depth, and quiet dominance in Hollywood. Vanessa Bell Calloway. Vanessa Bell Calloway, born March 20th, 1957 in Cleveland, Ohio, left a lasting mark on pop culture history with just a few words and one unforgettable bark. In Coming to America 1988, she played Princess Imani Izzi, the royal bride-to-be, who was trained from birth to obey Prince Akeem's every command. Her comedic timing and physical performance, especially her scene-stealing bark-like-a-dog moment, became iconic and endlessly quoted. But behind that humorous moment stood a classically trained actress and dancer. Calloway earned a degree in dance from Ohio University and studied with Alvin Ailey before transitioning into acting. Her blend of poise and boldness helped her land roles in What's Love Got to Do with It, The Inkwell and Crimson Tide, where she showcased her range beyond comedy. Calloway's career has been one of quiet longevity. She starred in numerous television series, including Saints and Sinners, where she played the powerful and manipulative Lady Ella Johnson. She's also been a regular presence on Broadway and in independent black cinema, earning respect for her nuanced portrayals of strong, complicated women. Privately, Vanessa faced deeply personal challenges. In 2009, she was diagnosed with ductal carcinoma in situ, a non-invasive form of breast cancer. She underwent 2 lumpectomies, a mastectomy, and reconstructive surgery. Her battle was physical and emotional, but she faced it with the same grace and tenacity that defined her on-screen roles. Despite adversity, Calloway has remained a voice for women's health, openly discussing her journey and advocating for early detection. She's also been active in mentoring young actresses, particularly black women trying to find their footing in an unforgiving industry. As of 2025, Vanessa Bell Calloway is 68 years old, still working in television and theater. With an estimated net worth of $6 million, she remains a living testament to resilience, artistry, and cultural influence. She may have barked on screen, but in real life, Vanessa Bell Calloway roared. Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson, born December 21, 1948 in Washington, D.C., has become the highest-grossing actor in film history. But long before Avengers Pulp Fiction or Star Wars, Jackson appeared briefly in Coming to America 1988 as a stick-up man robbing the McDowell's restaurant. His fierce intensity, even in a minor role, hinted at the Hollywood dominance that was to come. Raised in Chattanooga, Tennessee, Jackson's early years were marked by instability. He was raised by his grandparents after his father abandoned the family, and he struggled with a stutter, a trait he famously conquered through acting and sheer willpower. Jackson attended Morehouse College, where he discovered theater and became politically active during the civil rights movement. But his journey to stardom was far from smooth. Jackson battled addiction for years, a period he rarely shies away from discussing. Jackson is 76 years old and still acting, recently returning to Broadway in The Piano Lesson. With an estimated net worth of $250 million, he is not just a Hollywood icon, he is a symbol of perseverance, reinvention, and unapologetic black excellence. The legacy of Coming to America is more than comedy. It's a reflection of black excellence, resilience, and the power of storytelling. As we honor these incredible actors who are no longer with us, we're reminded that behind every laugh was a journey of struggle, talent, and triumph. Which performance touched your heart the most? Whose legacy do you think deserves more recognition today? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Legends of Black Excellence to keep celebrating the icons who shaped our culture.